All right, sound check, sound check. Make sure this thing's working and we'll get going. Okay, so it looks like the sound is working. So, yes, welcome to Breakers Club number 2 in 2025. This will probably be the last Breakers Club of this year. Where you rapidly, this will take us into November. And then with the holidays and everything else, it gets real busy. So, Andy, Adam, good evening. Good to see both of you. So, yes, we are ready to get going. And this is night number 1 of Breakers Club. So, the first thing I always do at the start of any of our group breaks is quickly run down through the list of who has what teams. So let me do that now with abbreviated versions in some cases of Discord usernames. So Triple Supreme has the Diamondbacks, Jackal has the Braves, Super Gadget has the Orioles and Red Sox, JC has the Cubs, Astros, Royals, Marlins, Mariners, and the non-MLB slot. Swinko has the White Sox, Padres, and Giants. I have the Reds. Adam K has the Rockies. Engel Woodstock has the Tigers. Peach Pits has the Angels. Mike 9020 has the Guardians, Dodgers, Mets, Phillies, Rangers, Blue Jays, and Nationals. So big thanks to both him and JC for grabbing a bunch of teams. Uncle Ben has the Brewers. Iowa State has the Twins. Andy has the Yankees. Andy S. Don Dog has the Athletics. 412 J-Mac has the Pirates. Cards on Cards has the Cardinals. And Doublebrook has the Rays. So that is a quick rundown of who has what. And now, because I haven't actually shown this all in one picture, why don't we see all of the stuff that we're going to be breaking over the next 5 weeks or so. So in no particular order, basically in the order that I can reach them, we've got 2023 Topps Chrome Platinum. They're not all going to fit on screen. Spoiler alert to that right now. We have a blaster of Panini Prism from, this is the 2025. Yes, 2025. So let's see. Maybe we'll do it this way. It's not all going to fit. We have another blaster of 2002 Diamond Kings. I'm excited for this one. We have one of these random Game Face figures, and you can see the box is not big. Some of these are selling for big money, though, so I don't know. Don't know what to expect for that, but why not? We've got a hanger box of Topps Series 1 from this year. So that's older from this year. This is hot off the presses, Topps Chrome Mega Box. We've got some hobby boxes, including 2025 Donruss. This is 1999 Pacific Private Stock. We've got Fleer Triple Crown from 2002 and 2001. The 2002 is a hobby. The 2001 is a retail. We have a blaster of Fleer Mystique from 2000. We have a hobby box of 2024 Archives. I just added this today. If you missed the announcement, 2000 Stadium Club Chrome, UD Authentics 2002. We have High Tech from 2019. We have Donruss Elite. We're up to my camera now from 02. We have a 2025 mega box of Panini Crusade. And last but certainly not least, we have a hobby box of 2025 Heritage. So all things considered, that is 18 different boxes of all varying shapes and sizes. And I mean that quite literally in this case. So that's what we will be breaking over the next several days or weeks, I should say. So the plan is to do this each Tuesday for the next 5 weeks. So counting this week. All right. So I did try to go ahead and space stuff out so that we're not just doing, again, the goal of Breakers Club is to do a bunch of boxes that will just give a lot of cards for team collectors, but also do some boxes that will give, some hits, autographs, or chances at least of autographs and relics and all that good stuff. So let me pull out what I had decided to set aside for this week, and then we'll get right to it. So I always love the start of Breakers Club. It's always an exciting time. It's fun to have this many boxes that are unopened in my possession, and the excitement that brings. So this is what we're going to break tonight. So we're going to do Pacific Private Stock. We're going to do, so Pacific's always fun. We're going to do a box, the hobby box of Donruss. Again, also always fun and should have 3 hits in it. We're going to do 2025 Topps Chrome, so something brand new, and something from the beginning of the year, our 2025 hanger box from Series 1. The nice thing about the hangers is they do have some exclusive parallels and whatnot that I think you can only get in hanger boxes. So even if you have your fill of Series 1, there's still a chance of getting something, a little bit unique at least. So I think we're going to start with a little one, and then we'll figure out what we do from there. How's that sound? All right, so we'll put these over here, stack those up, get this here, and I think we're ready to go. So good evening to those of you that have checked in. I hope everyone's excited, looking forward to Breakers Club. Like I said, I always do. It's a lot of work to put together. Difficult to find boxes anymore, I can tell you that, to try to find a nice variety. The stock of unopened 90s stuff has definitely dwindled. I've really struggled to find. You'll notice most of the stuff was like 99, 2000, 2001 for the older stuff. And that's because there just isn't much left of the real old stuff. When I say real old, I mean the mid 90s stuff that's, at least in my opinion, anywhere worth what people are asking for. So, but I think we still have a nice mix. So I'm looking forward to it. All right. So let's just jump right in, shall we? So this is the hanger box, 59 cards, chance for relics and autographs, of course. I don't know how many hanger boxes I've opened in my lifetime. I don't think I've ever pulled an autograph out of one of these, but this would be a fun time for the first time. So you get it in a nice little sleeve pocket thingy there. Obviously nothing on that side. And there you go, just in a single cellophane wrapper. And we're going to jump right in. So good evening to everybody. Andy says, yeah, David Adams used to have a nice inventory across the years, but not anymore. Yeah, they really don't have much. There was another site that I've actually forgotten about until you just mentioned that I used to use and get stuff. I can't remember what they were called, but they pretty much dried up, and I don't even think they're still around anymore. That's where I used to get a lot of my older boxes. Well, that's going to bug me now that I can't remember the name of the site. But anyways, yeah, it's getting harder and harder to find 90s stuff for sure, other than your real basic stuff. All right, so we're going to go through these kind of quickly, only because I imagine most people have seen these, but as with all of my group breaks, I do try to make sure to show every single card. So we've got Seth Lugo for the Royals, Lars Nootbaar, Cardinals, Shea Wickham, Astros, Eloy Jimenez for the Orioles, Willie Castro Twins, Chris Bassett Blue Jays. We've got a multiplayer card. Anything that's just a regular base card like this, I just stick them in a stack and then I randomize them at the end. And if you want to know the truth, what I really do is if we won't probably this break because we're only doing one box of Series 1. But if we were to pull 2 of this card, for example, I would make sure I'd randomize it once. Maybe goes to the Yankees. I'd randomize the other one amongst the other 2 teams. So that's how that works. Tyler Stevenson for my very quickly eliminated from the playoffs Reds, but they made the playoffs, so that's something. Zach Wheeler Phillies, Christian Mania Diamondbacks, Will Brennan Guardians, Dylan Cease Padres, Michael McGreevy Cardinals. We've got a Orlando Arcia for the Braves. I was going to say the Bravos, and it came out weird. Christian Yelich Brewers, Adolis Garcia Rangers, Phillies team card. Lourdes Gurriel Jr. for the Diamondbacks, Chris Taylor for the Dodgers, Michael Ciane Cardinals, Kai Busch White Sox. There's a nice Mike Trout. Card number 200 in the set this year. Bobby Witt Jr. for the Royals, another good one. Alec Burleson Cardinals, Jace Jung Tigers, Geraldo Perdomo Diamondbacks, Teoscar Hernandez Dodgers, Ahmed Rosario Reds, Adrian Del Castillo Diamondbacks, Joe Adell Angels, Cole Reagans Royals, Miles Nicholas Cardinals, Drew Romo Rockies, Shea Langeliers A's, Tanner Scott Padres, Chris Morel Tampa, and Tigers team card. And then we've got Abraham Toro for the A's. And then let's just skip past the inserts if we can. We'll go to the base. The rest of the base, Mauricio Dubon, Houston, Luis Castillo for the Mariners, Tyler Gentry, Royals, Michael Busch, Rookie Cup for the Cubs, Garrett Cole, Yankees. We have a nice future star, Tyler Soderstrom, Rafael Devers, Mike Vientos, Mets, Jordan Westberg, future star for the Orioles. We've got All Smiles, Perfect Weather in San Diego, Travis d'Arnaud, Braves, and Bailey Ober, Twins. All right, so that's the base, and then you might be able to see right away, we have a nice surprise hit here. We have Juju Watkins, first pitch from Dodger Stadium. And then the blue parallel, numbered 64 out of 150. So there you go. Dodger Stadium, this will be going in the Dodgers pile. With Dodger Stadium listed there. We have the, I believe, retail only. That's a nice one for the A's. What did they call these? Oh, I threw the box away. Diamante base parallels. Those are pretty sharp, actually. Tyler Soderstrom for the A's. And Rafael Devers for Boston. We've got another first pitch. This one going out to the Giants, Masanori Murakami. That's what the regular ones would look like, or do look like. And this was the blue parallel. We have, they're going every which way. A 90 tops insert, Spencer Schwellenbach, rookie for the Braves. And then our stars of MLB cards, Jose Ramirez, Paul Skeens, Shohei Ohtani, and Bryce Harper. So a very solid showing there. And nice to get a card numbered out of 150 as a bit of a surprise. Let me find some sleeves here, and I'll sleeve this one right away. And there we go. So a very solid start. Honestly, I was expecting basically nothing from the Series 1 Blaster other than just some more cards, but I think we did all right. Let's go with the new. Let's stick with new, shall we? 2025 Topps Chrome. These things are going for silly prices, in my opinion, but no one asked me. So we get a little cube of styrofoam, and then we get a bunch of packs. Oh, there's one more pack in there. So there's your empty box. And this should have 7 packs, 6 cards per pack with 10 exclusive X-Fractor parallels lurking inside. So that's what we're looking for in particular here. All right. Well, let's not waste time. We got a lot to do. Shredded that pack. Nice. Okay. First card out of the box is going to Houston. Christian Walker. Mookie Betts for the Dodgers. Thomas Segezi. This is a refractor. I thought. Doesn't say refractor on it. It seemed like it was refractory to me. Maybe my eyes deceive me. I don't see that it says that it is. I have to put it under the light, a better light than what I have here. So Thomas Segezi, Cardinals. We got Drew Thorpe, White Sox. There's one of the X-Fractors, Marco Luciano for the Giants. Put him over there. And Daniel Schneemann for the Guardians. Let me see. I can't reach my light switch from here. All right. For the Mets, we've got Luis De Los Santos, William Contreras, Brewers, another horizontal, Ian Happ for the Cubs. We have a Ray Wave parallel. I think that's what those are called. Jeremy Pena for Houston. They're not numbered, but nice parallel. And another X-Fractor Brandon Lockridge for San Diego. And Freddie Freeman. That one is a refractor. That's a nice one for the Dodgers. Super Gadget says that was a refractor. Oh, it's a prism. That one's a prism refractor, the Schneemann. Completely missed that. Guess my light down here is not so good. Yeah, that's a refractor. All right, hold on. Now I'm just annoyed at myself. Let's see if that helps. Just for this set. I know the light puts a weird shadow and stuff. But I don't want to miss any of the old refractors. Okay. Next pack. We got Shea Langoliers for the A's. Nolan Arenado, Cardinals. Drew Romo, Rockies. And then we have an all-etch Ellie De La Cruz for the Reds. A cool card. And we have an X-Fractor Ty France for the Twins. And another X-Fractor, Kiter Montero, rookie for the Tigers. With his Motor City uniform on. I don't know anything about Kiter Montero. I'll have to ask Andy about him. Samuel Aldeguerri for the Angels. Max Scherzer, Blue Jays. Kerry Carpenter, Tigers. Bryce Terang, Brewers. We have an X-Fractor of the retiring Clayton Kershaw for the Dodgers. And a refractor of Garrett Mitchell for the Brew Crew. Next pack. Rafael Devers, Boston. Tyler Fitzgerald, Giants. Darren Baker, Washington. We have a Power Players Kettle Marte for the Diamondbacks. That's what that looks like. Another Dodger X-Fractor, River Ryan. And for the Rangers, Marcus Semien. So lots of refractors in this. Good luck putting together even just the base set. Not very many base cards compared to the parallels. Nolan Gorman for St. Louis. Juan Soto, Mets. Ooh, we have I'm going to say green. Aqua green, blue green. Grant Holmes for the Braves, numbered 152 out of 199. If I hold that up there, you can kind of make it out right above the logo there on the corner. I should sleeve that in a second. We got Chase McDermott, another Ray Wave for the Orioles. Hurston Waldrop, rookie for the Braves, and Cole Reagans for the Royals. Two more X-Fractors. Let me just throw our serial number card in a sleeve while I'm thinking of it. Teal, Super Gadget says, and Andy says that he's fine. Another Tiger who can't hit. But a good excuse because he only pitches. Yeah, that's fair. Be like my Reds, none of them can hit. Some of them can pitch, but none of them can hit. Zach DeZenzo for Houston. A nice Paul Goldschmidt there for the Yankees. I like that card. Andres Chaparro, Washington. We have a Chrome 1990 Topps design, Nolan Arenado for St. Louis. And a lovely X-Fractor James Wood rookie for the Nationals. That's a great card for the National slot. And rounding out this pack is another refractor, Vinny Pasquantino for the Royals. So definitely easier to have the light on if I'm going to be opening Topps Chrome, that's for sure. But look at the difference here. Base, parallels. Wow. Throw that one in there too. Parallels. So it's almost 50-50. Not quite, but it's pretty close. Okay, so those were the smaller boxes for the evening. Let's do private stock next, and let me turn this light back off. we'll do that way. I can turn the light back on if people prefer, but usually people seem to say it's better with it off. So let's show off the back because I always get a kick out of how Pacific did their odds. So yeah, a bunch of serially numbered sets, fine. Then home run history, 2 in 25 packs. A box has 24 packs in it, so almost 2 per box. PS206s, those are going to be the minis that are 1 per pack, and then the parallels are 1 in 25, so just slightly rarer than 1 per box. So those are the insertion rates for 99 private stock. And if you haven't gotten your hands on these, I imagine by now most of you have seen them, but if not, they are very nice, as you'll see in a moment. So we get a little Pacific Points thing. That's a cool looking set. In the cage laser cuts. 60,000 Pacific Points. You get a mug for 900. Bunch of stuff there. So anyways, don't need that. Let's pull the boxes out, or the packs out of the box rather, so I can get the box out of here. So there's your empty box. Oh, I do not have enough room on my desk for all this. Okay. So there are all of the packs, and we're going to get right to it. Let me just grab a drink quick. All right, so I always love Pacific stuff, and anytime I can find a box of Pacific, I get excited and try to buy it if it's at all affordable. Unfortunately, lots of people feel that way, so Pacific stuff, like a lot of things, getting less and less affordable as time goes on. Also, I should point out, we're looking at the Pacific Points. That wrapper is worth 4 Pacific Points. Gonna take an awful lot of wrappers, though, to get to, what was that, 60,000 points or something? Can you imagine trying to store that many wrappers? All right, so here's what the base set looks like. Show off both sides here. So you can see it's got like the shiny foil to it, which I like. It's in moderation, so it's not bad. In fact, I think it's quite nice. This is Enrique Wilson of the, Indians then, Guardians now. And I love the team logo in the background. The back of the card, they give a box score from a game where the player, generally speaking, did well. So in this case, Wilson batted second against the Yankees, and he went 3 for 4 with a run and 4 RBIs. So a nice game for him. And I like the full box score. And then they give you the last year and the career totals. So I think these are pretty cool. I like the design, and we've opened some private stock in the past, but I'm a fan. So anyways, next up, Ryan Miner, rookie for the Orioles. We've got Jim Edmonds, Angels. There's our Pudge sighting. And this is actually a parallel. That was easy to miss, but I caught it. See down at the bottom, 1 out of 99, but there's this extra logo on there. This is the vintage parallel. Well, the stamp isn't in perfect shape, I guess. Looks like it has a little scratch on it, but and Ivan Rodriguez vintage numbered 81 out of 99. 81 out of 99. You can make that out the bottom there. There you go. So that's an awesome pull for the Rangers. I'll sleeve that in 1 second. Then the minis, these are going to be 1 per pack. This one's going to the Twins. We've got Otis Nixon. Standard blue backs are the base ones. And then Fred McGriff for the Rays. So was not expecting to pull one of the parallels. They're actually very difficult pulls. So to get 1 out of 99, very cool. We're having a good start to Breakers Club. We're doing well already. I love it. Love to see it. All right. We'll speed up, but we'll never get through the packs. We got Tony Bautista for the Diamondbacks. And then if we flip it over, Brian Jordan, Cardinals. Jeremy Burnitz, Brewers. Greg Vaughn, Padres. And our last base is Chipper Jones for the Braves. And our mini is Dean Palmer for the Royals. And I will flip the minis over just to make sure we catch the parallel, assuming we find a parallel mini. We've got Carlos Delgado for the Blue Jays. And then Rod Beck, Cubs. My man Barry Larkin for the Reds. I need all the I have this card, but I need all the parallels. Dante Bichette Rockies. We've got a Jose Cruz Jr. for the Blue Jays and Travis Lee for the Diamondbacks. The Cardsupials, no, at least not this year. Not sure how many years private stock was a thing, but no, I don't believe so. Rondell White, Expos. Mark Grace, Cubs. Juan Gonzalez, Rangers. Rick Helling, also for the Rangers. And then we have Frank Thomas for the White Sox. And our mini is Andres Galarraga. Next pack for the Braves, Mike Piazza. And then we've got Devon White for the Diamondbacks. We have cards going every which way. Wade Boggs for the Rays. Sean Casey for the Reds. Andres Galarraga for the Braves. And our mini is Hideo Nomo for the Mets. These pack wrappers in the box. So they've been sitting in the box since 1999. And to me, they just look faded. Even in the box. Jeremy Burnett's Brewers. Flipping over. Delino DeShields Cardinals. And these are nice thick cards too. You can see the thickness there. Vlad Guerrero Expos. Tony Clark Tigers. We got Craig Biggio Houston. And our mini is Hal Morris of the Royals. He was a red at one point. Alex Gonzalez for the Marlins. Our mini's trying to escape, so let's see who we got. We got Quentin McCracken for the Rays, your quintessential Rays player from the 90s. Cliff Floyd, Marlins. David Wells, Yankees. The A's get Jason Giambi, and the Mets get a Mike Piazza. So what do we think of private stock for those maybe they're less familiar with the set? It's a pretty small base set, 150 cards. So pretty small. Oh, we got David Cone for the Yankees. There's a regular Pudge, non-parallel version for the Rangers. Edgar Clemente, Rockies. Our mini is a regular Ryan Klesko for the Braves. And then we've got Tony Gwynn. Always like getting Tony Gwynn. And Barry Bonds. There's some star power to finish that pack off. McCracken was a Rocky. I feel like I'm... did he start with the Rockies? Or did he start with the Rays? Dean Palmer, Royals. Mike Caruso, White Sox. Greg Maddux, another parallel. This is the private stock, numbered 129 out of 299. That's unbelievable to get two parallels out of the same box. That is not how this usually works. And to get Greg Maddux, no less. So we're 2 for 2 with proper stars. Numbered, again, at the bottom there, 129 out of 299. I will see that in just a moment. That's awesome. Fred McGriff, mini. We got David Wells, Yankees. And, I mean, it wouldn't be a break without a salmon sighting, right? For the Angels. Well, Jackal will, I think, certainly be happy getting the Maddux. And the Rangers, who has Texas? That's going to Mike. Mike got to be happy about that. Mike, I imagine, will be watching this on tape delay. Derek Jeter, Yankees. And sneaking out is Wade Boggs of the Rays as our mini. And then we've got Jose Guillen for the Pirates, Rod Beck for the Cubs, Carlos Guillen for the Mariners, and Mike Piazza for the Mets. Adam says Quentin did start with the Rockies and became a good immaculate grid guy throughout his career. I guess that's something for players, right? Kevin Young, Pirates. Mark McGuire, Cardinals. There's Quentin McCracken, regular base card. We've got Chan-Ho Park, regular mini for the Dodgers. Travis Lee Diamondbacks, and Alex Gonzalez for the Fish. Definitely going to get some duplicates out of this box in terms of the base cards. That just, unfortunately, par for the course. But we also got 2 parallels, which is unheard of. So I can't complain about the box, and we're only halfway through or so. Edgar Renteria, Marlins. Wilton Guerrero, Expos. Scott Rowland, Phillies. Our mini, Gary Sheffield of the Dodgers. Moises Alou, Astros. And Aramis Ramirez for Pittsburgh. I'm so bad at Immaculate Grid when they do guys that played for multiple teams. I'm pretty good at the stats ones, the stat categories, but I'm very bad at coming up with guys that played for multiple teams. Jose Cruz Jr., Blue Jays. Bernie Williams, Yankees. Will Clark, Rangers. We have a Ken Caminiti mini. And then Jarrett Wright for the Indians. And Rod Beck for the Cubs. Next pack. Eric Davis as an Oriole. That is a name that I should use on Immaculate Grid. He's played for a bunch of teams. Aaron Boone, Reds. Trevor Hoffman, Padres. Frank Thomas, White Sox. Where are our mini? Oh, it was stuck to the back. Our mini is Jose Offerman for the Royals. So Frank Thomas, White Sox, and Chipper Jones for the Braves. Adam, terrible with the AL Central. I feel like the AL Central I'm not great with. Probably the AL West is what I'm the worst at because I just don't watch those teams very often as an East Coast time zone person. Brian Jordan, Cardinals. Damian Easley, Tigers. We got Brian Jordan for the Cardinals as our mini. Regular one. Andres Galarraga, Braves. And behind him is another Barry Bonds for the Giants. There was a time where I watched the Astros. This was before they had the whole cheating scandal. They were a fun team to watch with Altuve and Bregman and all them. But then once the cheating thing happened, that was the end of me watching and rooting for them in any way. Yeah, the team logos are nice. Ryan Klesko for the Braves. We got Justin Thompson for the Tigers. Jose Canseco as a Blue Jay. Derek Bell for the Astros. Craig Biggio for the Astros. And for the Expos, regular mini, is Wilton Guerrero. So this Pacific set is way tamer than a lot of Pacific sets from the era in terms of like the craziness of the inserts. One thing that I always appreciate about Pacific, though, is their inserts generally do feel special, unlike some of the insert bloat that a lot of other card companies were going with. We got Matt Williams for the Diamondbacks, Rolando Arroyo for the Rays. We have you've got to be kidding me, a third parallel Pacific stock preferred, also going to the Braves, Chipper Jones, numbered out of 399, 177 out of 399. That's our third parallel out of this box. And all 3 have been stars. 2 of the 3 going to the Braves. Wilton Guerrero, another mini for him. Bernie Williams for the Yankees. And David DeLucci for the Diamondbacks. That's just crazy. I think I've probably opened 5 or 6 boxes of this stuff over the years. And I don't know. I can't remember pulling any parallels. And all of a sudden, we've got 3. What a box. And this thing's been sitting around since 99. Jim Thome for Cleveland. We got Tony Gwynn base. And trying to escape was Justin Thompson for the Tigers, regular mini. And then if we flip these over, we got for the Fish, Mark Kotze, Aramis Ramirez for Pittsburgh, and Ryan Christensen for the Athletics. So Jackal should be pretty pleased with the Braves haul out of this box. I don't think he's in the room right now. Brent Brown, Cubs. Alex Gonzalez, Marlins. Jeff Kent, Giants. Our mini is Henry Rodriguez of the Cubs. We got Larry Walker for the Rockies and another Cub, Kerry Wood. Kerry Wood was the hottest thing in baseball for a very short time period. Ben Grieve for the Athletics. Another quintessential 90s name. And how about so good? Let's do it twice, shall we? Back-to-back Greaves. And our mini is not Ben Grieve. It's Cliff Floyd of the Marlins. And then we've got Gary DeSarcina. I don't know. And there we go. Look at this beautiful card. 70, Mark McGwire, 1998 home run champion. Die cut. What a beautiful card. I don't think I've ever seen those either. At least I don't remember them. Going to Cards on Cards. Well, I also am not sure is in the room tonight, but I got to imagine we'll be happy with that one. That's beautiful. Really like that. And we'll sleeve that too, just so it stays nice. And Mark Loretta for the Brewers rounds out that pack. What a box. What a box. Indeed. What do I do with the box? Those home run cards are 2 and 25, so almost 2 per box. We might only get 1. That's okay. We'll see what happens. All right, we got a Manny Ramirez sighting. And he doesn't want to separate from the rest of the group. Todd Walker for the Twins. Greg Vaughn, Padres. Bobby Abreu, Phillies. A Frank Thomas regular mini. And Mo Vaughn for Boston. Next up, we got Scott Brocious for the Yankees. Dante Bichette, Rockies. Ray Langford, Cardinals. We have a beautiful Ken Griffey Jr. mini. And, just a regular mini. Cal Ripken. Nice card of the Iron Man. And a regular Pudge. Oh, we got 2 more packs of this box. And then we still have 1 more to go tonight. David Wells for the Yankees. Wilton, well, let's flip him over. Omar Vizquel, Indians. Eric Chavez, Athletics. Bob Henley, Expos. We have a Levon Hernandez, regular mini. And then there's the Wilton Guerrero. And our final pack for this box. We've got Vlad Guerrero, Pedro for the Red Sox. Vlad, of course, for the Expos. We have a regular mini of Alex Gonzalez. And then flipping over, we got Mike Mussina, Orioles. Tony Gwynn, Padres. And our final card is going to the Brewers. Dave Nilsson. So let's recap this real fast. Lots of base cards. Lots of base cards. Nice base cards. Thick, chunky, solid base cards. I'm going to get these out of here. And then we got a nice handful of minis. All the common blue back minis. The parallels have a red back. I think I checked every single one of these. So, we got all blue, which is fine. No big deal. And then the highlights. The Mark McGwire home run champion die cut. Love Pacific die cut stuff. We have the Chipper Jones. This being the private stock preferred, numbered out of 399. Then the Greg Maddux, which is the exclusive Pacific private stock exclusive. I should have the box here. Make sure I'm saying these right. Yeah, the exclusive series. So these are hobby only, numbered out of 299. And then the Pudge Rodriguez vintage series, which is numbered out of only 99. And this is the rarest parallel in the set in terms of the serial numbering. So a heck of a start here, I would say. What an awesome box that was. JC, good evening. JC says start over. Well, let's not quite start over, JC. But we just finished private stock, and we managed to pull not one, not two, but 3 parallels out of it, which is unheard of in all of my time of opening this product, anyways. And all stars. And you haven't missed the main event for tonight, JC. We've got our box of 2025 Donruss to close out the evening. Adam says it's Pacific something. That's fair. But it's private stock. I love Pacific. All right. So this will be the last box for this evening. I'm going to try to do 3 or 4 boxes for the next 4 weeks, not counting this week. So this will take us through 5 weeks total, counting this week. We had 18 boxes, so I didn't really want to just do 3 every night and spread over 6 weeks. So I kind of combined some. So we did 4. I tried to put some of the faster, quick boxes I anticipated going a bit faster with some of the ones that will take a bit more time. Also tried to balance, chance of hits and all that kind of stuff. So it's not perfect. We will open all 18 products before all said and done. It doesn't really matter the order, but I still like to try to mix stuff up as much as I can to keep it interesting for not just you guys, but also for me, because I got to read all these names. All right, so here's our final box for tonight. Like I said, 14 more boxes yet to come. This should have 3 hits in it, if all goes well. And this is the 2025 Donruss. And I'm going to take the packs out. The bottom ones don't want to come out nicely. And then I can get rid of the box. All right, so there's your empty box. Let me get rid of this somewhere. Right there. Perfect. Okay. Get all those over there. Try to get my wires back on my camera frame. All right, so like I said, this will be it for tonight. JC wants to know the Labubu. You mean this thing? I mean, look at those. Is that the one we're talking about? They're so weird. And the worst part is this box was $50. $50. I'm pretty sure I got ripped off. But in fairness, I was expecting like a proper figure, like a starting lineup size figure, not this. So I don't know. But then I looked on eBay and some of them are selling for really good money. So it shows what I know. All right, good luck, everybody. Let's crack into our final box for tonight, and then we'll meet again next Tuesday. Also, for those that maybe are catching this, join the Discord. All sorts of fun stuff going on there. Join the Patreon. I've got monthly group breaks. Next week, we will be doing the Patreon break and Breakers Club in the same stream. So we'll be doing 3 boxes out of for the Breakers Club and then the Patreon break as well. So that'll fill up next evening. All right. JC, better be gold or have a crack rock in there or something. Yeah. I don't know. I'm not gonna lie. I was a little disappointed when the box came and it was like the size of my pinky, but who knows? It's something different. I'm willing to wager most of us have never opened that product. So that's something. All right, let's get going. We got Jackson Chourio to start us off here. Good start from Milwaukee. Keep it going with James Wood for the Nationals. We got a Manny Ramirez, Boston. Eddie Matthews for the Milwaukee Braves. We have our first serially numbered card. Probably not the last one out of this box, knowing how Donruss works, but this is 97 out of 149. Jared Thomas for Colorado. So there you go, Adam. I don't know anything about Mr. Jared Thomas, but you just got yourself a nice blue parallel. We have Colin Houck, rated prospect for the Yankees. I guess we'll put those there. Ken Caminiti for Atlanta. And Bryce Eldridge for San Fran. And let me sleeve Mr. Thomas here. What I did not do is order more sleeves, penny sleeves. So I might have to search for some more of those before next week. All right, next pack. We start with Jake Arrieta, Chicago Cubs. Jace Jung, Detroit. Ian Kinsler, Texas. Austin Wells, New York. We got a nice Juan Marshall. That's the Optic, their version of Chrome for San Fran. We have a 563 career home run, Reggie Jackson milestones. Nice shiny green card going to Oakland. So that's fun. Bryce Cunningham, New York. And Rentaro Sasaki. This is, if I'm not mistaken, I will double check this, but yes, I believe that he's one of the non-MLB, no team attached to him. So this will be going in the non-MLB slot. I will double check that, but there is no team listed. So I believe that that is correct. Okie dokie. Next up, Heston Kjerstad. I don't even know how you say his last name. Baltimore. Jake Peavy, San Diego. Juan Marichal, San Fran. Deion Sanders for the Reds. Our Optic is Alex Gordon for Kansas City. We've got Unleashed Carson Benj for New York. Franklin Arias, Boston. And Dylan Head for Miami. Adam has not heard of Mr. Jared Thomas, so that makes two of us. Although I can probably count the number of Rockies games I watched on half of one hand this year. Mariano Rivera, Yankees. More Yankees, Reggie Jackson. For Boston, Roger Clemens. Hurston Waldrop for the Braves. Rhett Lauder, Optic for the Reds. We have a milestone Paul Molitor for the Brewers. And then we've got Kendall George for LA and Braylon Daughtry for Cleveland. Is the Reggie numbered? No. I looked because it's a green parallel, but it is not numbered that I see. But yeah, it's the parallel version of this, or a parallel, but not numbered. Cool card though. Dustin Pedroia, Boston. Andrew Jones, Braves. Dylan Cruz, Washington. Pablo Sandoval, Giants. We got Eddie Matthews for the Milwaukee Braves. We have another milestones parallel, different finish, different color. This one is numbered. This one is not numbered. No. This one is, though. It's hard to see, but it's right there. 42? Yes, 42 out of 99. There you go. There you can see it right there. Vlad Guerrero Sr. going to the Angels. So I'll sleeve that in just a second. Carson Benj, New York, and Leo DeVries for San Diego. So a couple of milestone parallels, one of which was numbered. I like the red for the Guerrero for sure for the Angels. I like when the parallel colors match the team colors. Buster Posey, Giants. Tony Perez, Boston. Boo. Junior Caminero, Rays. Mike Schmidt, Phillies. Don Mattingly, Yankees. We've got a Diamond Marvels, Brady House. Those are kind of cool cards for Washington. Not numbered, but I like the looks of those. Charlie Condon, Colorado. And Ben Hess for New York. Evan Carter, nice one for Texas. Jim Cott for the Twins. Pee Wee Reese, Brooklyn Dodgers. Luis Angel Acuna for the Mets. We have a Artist Proof. Jim Catt, Artist Proof. This is really cool. This is numbered 1 out of 25, and it's a completely different, like old school cardstock. It's got a different feel to it. It's got a textured front. This is awesome. For the Twins, again, numbered. This is actually numbered 1 of 25. It's hard to make. There, you can see it in the light there. I was gonna say it kind of blends in with his leg. For the Twins, this is going to Iowa State Bison. I don't know if Iowa State's in the room tonight, but Iowa State, longtime Twins buyer. And so always nice to get a really cool card for someone that's bought into a lot of my breaks over the years, and always much appreciated. And that probably makes for this break just in that one card. Very cool. Love that. Charlie Condon is our optic for Colorado. So there he is again. No, it was Jared Thomas before. I'm forgetting my Colorado prospects. Braylon Payne, Milwaukee, and Chase DeLauder for Cleveland. Tell you what, this has been a heck of a start to Breakers Club. If the other weeks are all like this, we're in for a lot of fun. We got Edgar Martinez for Seattle, Cliff Lee, Phillies, Chipper Jones, Braves, Jim Rice, Boston. Our optic is Deion Sanders. How about a nice Elite Series, Cliff Lee for the Phillies? Not numbered. They used to be numbered back when in the 90s, this insert set. I have a Barry Larkin from this, but still a pretty sharp-looking card. Takoya Roby for the Cardinals, and Owen Casey for Chicago. It's got to be a case hit, I would think. Yeah, it's numbered out of 25. I'm sure Dunner's produced a ton of this stuff. Jacob Wilson, Oakland, or Panini, I should say. Kumar Rocker, Texas. Ryan Braun, Brewers. Mike Mussina, Yankees. We've got what I would call a foil board, Willie Stargell for Pittsburgh. I don't see that it's numbered anywhere, but there's for Pittsburgh. Kind of see a slight uptick on the corner there. If I get in the light just right, you can kind of see that just slightly softened corner, just so you know that I didn't do it. I guess we'll put Mr. Willie Stargell there. Our optic is Buster Posey. And then we got Walter Janek for Houston and Tink Hence for St. Louis. All right, Adam says the last Rocky was the 3rd overall pick. Okay. I confess I rarely watch the draft. Actually, I really confess. I have never watched the draft. Bert Campaneris, Oakland. Sammy Sosa, Cubs. Got something pink coming. But before that, we got Billy Martin, manager for the A's. And then how about another Rocky? Brody Brecht for Colorado. I'm going to test Adam's knowledge of all the Rockies. This is a pink numbered 74 out of 79. So how about some Rocky love? That's a cool watch out, like the little squares in the design kind of look like they're spinning when you tilt it. That's a sweet card. I don't know Brody Brecht, but sweet card. And here's another sweet card for the Twins. Billy Amick, printed on the acetate. I am such a sucker for acetate cards. Love them. Rated prospect for Minnesota. So there's another nice pull. I'll sleep both of those. And why not have another insert? Leo DeVries for San Diego, Unleashed. And then Billy Amick, Minnesota. And Chase Burns for my Reds. Even though the Amick is not numbered, I'm going to sleeve it anyways, just because I like these. Of course, they're the one card that probably doesn't need to be sleeved. They're more indestructible since they're printed on plastic, but that's fine. JC, I'm glad I'm not the only one that likes the clear cards. Very cool. We are still supposed to get 3 hits out of this box, and 3 like relic / auto. So I don't know. Greg Maddux, Braves. Aaron Judge, Yankees. We got Bobby Miller, Dodgers. For Oakland, a nice Catfish Hunter Starburst parallel thingy. Not numbered, but very cool looking. I really like that card. I like Donruss. We got Ben Hess for the Yankees. And speaking of hits, there's Mr. Rentaro Sasaki autographed. And this is a blue numbered 6 out of 35. Now, I don't know anything about Rentaro Sasaki. I'm assuming he's some sort of big deal to be in this set. So I don't know. We got Spencer Jones for New York and Trey Morgan for Tampa. So since we pulled the auto, I suppose I should try to look this up fast. So this is a Carolina blue auto, I do believe. So there's something. Let's see. I was trying to see on. Let me go to TCDB and just make sure that that truly is. Oh, can I do this quickly? Okay, so he's listed as a Stanford Cardinal, apparently. So not an non-MLB. So this will be going to the non-MLB slot. Yeah, Stanford Cardinal. I went to eBay first, and these are listed at like $100 for that card. So I don't know what they're actually selling for, but I quickly saw a listing. So sleeve that one. So there you go for the non-MLB. JC, that's going to you. That covers that slot, even if there's not a single other non-MLB card in the whole break. All right. So I didn't check this sold listings, but it was listed at, I closed it now, so too late. All right, moving on. Good box. Rhett Lauder for the Reds. Alex Gordon, Royals. Jim Palmer, Orioles. Don Mattingly, Yankees. We have a foil board Spencer Jones for New York. This one is not numbered. And then Seaver King is our optic for Washington. Roman Anthony, Boston. And Christian Moore for LA. Ooh, this one feels thick. Should we save the thick one? Maybe it's just a dummy card. I'll open it. It was next on my stack, but it definitely felt thicker than the rest as soon as I picked it up. All right, let's see. Let's see if I was correct. Jimmy Rollins, Phillies. Jeff Bagwell, Houston. And a Yadi Molina for St. Louis. We have a Ricky Henderson, Oakland. And then I'm gonna switch. It's definitely a thick card there, but it might just be a dummy card. Carson Williams, Tampa. Dalton Rushing, LA. Our optic is Jim Palmer for Baltimore. We have it's just a dummy card. Well, at least I was correct that it was thicker than normal. And an Elite Series, Ozzie Smith. #1 in the set. Old Ozzie. I shouldn't say old Ozzie. That's rough. JC says the other break I was in with 2 boxes of 2022. Easy for me to say. Chrome Platinum. 1 box was skimped on the auto. Yeah, that's for what those boxes cost. That should never happen. Mike Piazza, Dodgers. We have Michael Young, Texas. Jim Thome, Phillies. Brooks Lee, Minnesota. We have a rated rookie, Darren Baker for Washington. Foil board thingy. And then our optic is a green Bryce Cunningham, numbered 59 out of 149. Going to New York. Bryce Cunningham. Sleeve that in just a second. Brock Wilken for Milwaukee. And Brody Brecht rounds out that pack. So yet another parallel. Say what you will about Panini, and I certainly say plenty of things about Panini at times. The Donruss brand is almost always a fun rip, especially for group breaks, because you just really never know what you might end up with. Frank Thomas, Chicago. Connor Norby, Miami. Zebby Matthews, Minnesota. We got a Ryan Clifford for New York. This is also numbered 70 out of 149. I'm assuming by the jersey that's a Met, New York Mets. I will always double check, but you have to double check for Panini stuff. But assuming it's the Mets, that's going into Mike's pile. Let's leave that in just a second. Dalton Rushing is our optic. And then, speaking of the Mets, how about a Jersey King relic? Brandon Sproat. Not numbered, but very thick. That's a pretty cool design. I like that. I like the dark blue jersey. So going to the Mets. As I said, Mets going to Mike. So congrats, Mike. And Ryan Sloan, Seattle. And Caleb Lomavita for Washington. So let me sleeve those couple of hits out of that pack. And while I do that, let me catch up on comment. JC, free packing material. Yes. You probably won't be surprised how many of these types of things I go through. Those of you that have had cards shipped know I use all packing resources that I can find. Easier said than done sometimes. And there is a freshly sleeved Brandon Sproat. I do like that design. So there's 2 hits out of the box anyways. And we still have a fair pack to go. And JC says, I wonder how many Panini points would we need for that Sasaki auto as a redemption. I'm going to guess quite a few. All right. For the Twins, Tony Olivo, Will Clark, Texas, Kobe Mayo, Baltimore, Johnny Bench, Reds, James Wood, Optic. We have a Diamond King, Carson Benj. So it's a Benj hot box. Excuse me. And then Colson Montgomery for Chicago and Arjun Nimala for Toronto. We'll finish off that pack. And we start this one with A-Rod for the Rangers. And then Paul Skeens, Pittsburgh. We've got Will Wagner, Toronto. Lou Gehrig, Yankees. And then how about a nice Jordan Lawler for the Diamondbacks? That's going to Triple L Supreme. Very nice for Arizona. And then either orange or gold, 50 out of 199, Bobby Miller for the Dodgers. Optic parallel. And then there's Brandon Sproat again. And Marcelo Mayer for Boston. We are being spoiled tonight. Spoiled with riches from these boxes. Good fun. Jake Bloss, Toronto. Terry Francona, now Reds manager, but with Boston in this set. Colt Keith for the Tigers. Jairo Iriarte, Chicago. Manny Ramirez, Optic. Don Mattingly, Milestones insert for the Yanks. And then Ryan Clifford for New York. And Kyle DeBarge for Minnesota. I will recap this box at the end because we did get a bunch of cool stuff. Jim Leyland, manager for the Tigers. Carlos Beltran, New York. Pedro for Boston. Robin Ventura for Chicago White Sox. Here's a Reggie Jackson that is numbered 75 out of 199 for the Yankees. So the green borders, I mean, it's a nice card. I mean, I'm not going to complain about a Reggie numbered out of 199, but I do feel like the green borders don't work quite as well for the Yankees. We have another Optic Prism. This is Brooks Lee for the Twins. And then Josuar Gonzalez, and which I believe is another. No, he's a Giant. Sorry, and PJ Morlando for Miami. Let me sleeve. There's another numbered card. Still a few packs left, and there should be one more hit yet. Isn't the box promise 3? Yeah, promises 3. We've got 2 out of 3 so far. All right, Nick York, Pittsburgh. Miguel Tejada, Baltimore. There's a Pudge sighting for Texas. Prince Fielder, Brewers. We have another numbered card, James Triantos for Chicago, number 229 out of 250. Now, I'd have to look up to see which Chicago, because that jersey isn't familiar to me for either or any, I don't know. I would just be guessing if it's a Cub or a White Sox, but 229 out of 250. We got a Optic Brock Wilken for Milwaukee, and then Tommy Troy for Arizona, and Jacob Mizorowski for Milwaukee. He became quite the story around the All-Star break, didn't he? Brewers with their voodoo magic. All right, next pack. Ozzie Smith, St. Louis. Nolan Ryan, Texas. Craig Biggio, Houston. Jordan Lawler, Arizona. Our Optic is Heston Jerstad for Baltimore. We have a Diamond Marvels, Luis Angel Acuna for Texas. For Texas, not New York, Texas. Texas. Boston Bateman, San Diego, and George Lombard Jr. for the Yanks. All right, we're down to our final 3 packs, it looks like. We have a Catfish Hunter for Oakland. John Smoltz, Braves. Jack Leiter, Texas. We have a shiny David Ortiz for Boston, not numbered. And then behind that, we have a gold Ryan Braun Optic. And this is also hiding our last hit, but let's not jump the gun for the Brewers. Number 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. Ryan Braun gold. At least I'm guessing gold. Maybe they said pea yellow, but I'm guessing they called it gold. For the Brewers. Brewers, of course, going to Uncle Ben. Another one of my longtime trading partners and participants in my group break. So happy to pull something like that for him. And then we have another autograph going to the Tigers. Carson Rucker going to Detroit. If Andy is still here. Andy, another longtime group break participant. And Andy can tell me all about Mr. Carson Rucker. Hopefully, since he's not a pitcher, he can hit. He's a shortstop. So 2 cards to sleeve immediately. And then before I do that, Starlin Caba for Miami and James Tibbs III for San Francisco. So, I mean, we're not quite done with this box, but we got 2 autographs, including one that appears to be worth roughly $100. Got a relic. We got a ton of numbered parallels. We have another thick pack, but I'm going to assume it's another packing piece of junk in there. Adam Wainwright, St. Louis. Andrew Walters, Cleveland. Tim Hudson, Oakland. David Ortiz, Boston. Our Optic is Jake Peavy for the Padres. We have a Bomb Squad, James Tibbs III for San Fran. There is that junk card. And then Griff O'Farrell for Baltimore and Jet Williams for New York. All right, and our final pack for tonight. We have Willie Stargell, Pittsburgh. Darren Baker, Washington. Bobby Witt Jr., Royals. Dwight Gooden, Mets. We have a Chase Burns foil for my Reds. Brody Brecht, Optic, Colorado. And we finish off with Drew Gilbert for New York and Jared Thomas for Colorado. A lot of Rockies in this box for sure. All right, so I'm not going to go through the regular parallels or inserts, but suffice to say we had a lot of them, including that green, but it's not numbered. Well, I will go through the hits of the box. And as JC said, 2 actual autos and a case hit. Much better than expected for Panini. I agree. But, good stuff. So we had 2 autos. We had the Carson Rucker for Detroit and the Rentaro Sasaki from Stanford, which goes in the non-MLB. The Sasaki being numbered out of 35. We also had 1 relic, Brandon Sproat for the Mets, not numbered. But at least it's a nice dark blue bit of cloth instead of white or black or gray. And then in no particular order, probably the order we pulled them backwards, we had the Ryan Braun 10 out of 10 for the Brewers. We had James Triantos out of 250. We had a Reggie Jackson out of 199. Ryan Clifford out of 149. Bobby Miller for the Dodgers out of 199. Bryce Cunningham out of 149. We had the clear Billy Amick, not numbered, but I just liked it. We had the Brody Brecht pink out of 79. The artist proof Jim Cat out of only 25. Vlad Guerrero out of 99, and the Jared Thomas out of 149. So I would say tremendous success for our Donruss box. I don't think you could ask for anything more out of that, out of a single box there. And honestly, I think we did pretty well all the way around. That private stock gave us 3 parallels, and that's amazing. I mean, if you get one serial number parallel Pacific product, you're usually counting your lucky stars. So to get 3 there, we did well. So I hope everyone has enjoyed the start to Breakers Club. Like I said, we will be breaking the next 4 Tuesdays. Next week will also include the Patreon break, which will be the September break. So more details about that and how the Patreon works next week. So I do hope you can join me. I will plan to start around 8:30 as usual, 8:30 Eastern time. For those that watch after the fact, thank you for watching. I appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed, do so. I'm sitting right at 200. I'd love to get that higher. I don't know why, but I'm a numbers guy, so why not? So yeah, with that said, have a lovely evening, and I'll see you over on the Discord. I'll keep giving away some cards. I'll probably be giving away some of the Reds that I pull from these boxes that are duplicates for mine. So if you're looking to build any of these sets, good chance you'll see some Reds show up from there too. Have a good evening. Super Gadget, have a great evening. Andy, JC, Adam, thanks to all of you for just hanging out and chatting with me. I appreciate it. Keeps me sane. Otherwise, it just feels like I'm talking to myself. So with that said, have a lovely night, everybody, and I will see you on the flip side.